hi everybody. As some of you may know, for the last few months, I've been really focusing on my health and moving my body. And tonight, I'm really excited because I've got two special guests that I've invited on this Zoom call to talk about something that we're all really excited about and we've been working on for the past few months together. We feel that this has been a missing link in all the areas that we work in, and we've come together to bring you some pretty cool something pretty cool. And before I bring on Noria, our incredible exercise physiologist, exercise physiologist, and Dani Catania, our incredible dietitian and nutritionist, I'd like to share a bit about how we came together to work together and how we might actually be able to help you tonight. And ladies, if you've got any questions that come up, please put them in the feed, and if we don't answer you right now, we'll be able to get back to you after the call's finished. So, as most of you will know, I work on my emotional health every single day. However, this year, I knew that I really needed to focus on my physical health more, especially with moving my body, and learn more about how my body works with better nutrition. I really resisted the exercise part of looking after my physical health. So I reached out to Dani and started her 8-week program that involved better eating and exercise. I really tried hard to get out of the exercise component. However, that absolutely was not an option. And once I committed to the program, I had to show up to do the bloody exercise. And I did, because, you know, once I commit to something, then I commit. So as a women's coach, I know that our emotional, nutritional and physical health is all linked together. Speaking to Dani and Noria, we all had the same thought that having a program that actually brings all of this together was a missing link to our overall health. So together we've been working really hard behind the scenes to create a 6-week program that will actually help you to transform the way you eat, the way you move, and the way that you feel about yourself. And what we'd like to do with you tonight are share with you 3 things that you need to know to move the dial on your own health, on your fitness, and on your self-love journey. So I'm going to invite Dani and Noria to share their tips on living your healthiest life. And I'd love to share what my number 1 self-love tip is with you all. So is everybody ready? My number 1 tip is to start your day with positive intention. So you're probably wondering, what do we mean when we say positive intention? So positive intention means starting your day in a really positive way. Most of the time, you know, we're busy running around. As soon as we get out of bed, we're up and running around after the kids, doing 5 jobs at once and not taking time to breathe or taking a few moments for ourselves before we start our to-do list. Another thing I've made a practice is also not checking my phone as soon as I wake up every morning. How many of you check your phone first thing in the morning? Because checking our phones first thing in the morning can actually make us hypervigilant. You know, there's 15 messages, there's all these emails, there's all these bills that have come through. So starting your day with a positive intention is really, really important. So by starting your day with no stress or anxiety, just to honour yourself for a few moments and allow yourself some time, and whether that means setting your alarm clock 5 minutes early or 10 minutes early, whatever it is, so that you actually ensure that you spend a couple of minutes for yourself every single morning, and bringing this into a practice the same as brushing your teeth and having your breakfast. So you may also be wondering how you can bring this into your daily routine. And there's lots and lots of different ways, you know, that we can actually start our day with positive intention. However, tonight, I just want to share one with you. So this is really, really easy to do. As soon as I wake up in the mornings, I lay in bed with my eyes, you know, wake up, open my eyes, and then I'll close my eyes again, and I use my breath. So I close my eyes and I take a really deep breath in through my nose, and I'll just do it quickly with you. So breathe in through my nose, and I take the biggest, deepest breath so that I feel the air going through my body down to my toes, and then I release my breath out through my mouth. And I do this 3 to 5 times before I get out of bed. It only takes a few minutes, and it really, really makes a difference to how you start your day, because you're honouring yourself. You are starting your day with positivity. And by incorporating this into my life, it allows any stress or negative thoughts that I may have as soon as I wake up to dissipate. So when we use our breath, it allows us to oxygenate our entire body and allows our body to actually reset. And it decreases stress and anxiety and increases calmness. It triggers the release of really good endorphins and detoxifies your body, stimulates the lymphatic system, and does lots and lots more. And who would have ever thought that taking breaths like that can be so healthy for your body? So for those of you tuning in live or on the replay, is this something that you could see yourself doing every day? Do you feel like you need more of this right now? Do you feel like you need to take some more time for you right now? So while these answers are coming through, and please, answer the questions and interact with us, because we love it and we'll be able to get back to you. While these answers are coming through, I'd love to turn the mic over to Noria, who has an incredible background in helping women get the results that they really, really want to achieve, and especially around chronic injuries and exercise rehabilitation. Noria just loves working with people like that. Noria has a heart of gold, and you will absolutely love her as much as I do. So Noria, it's over to you, my friend.
Thanks so much, Katrina. I'm so excited to be here because I'm so passionate about helping people getting the results that they never thought possible, particularly women who have been physically limited due to chronic or niggly injuries, as you were saying. I've been an exercise physiologist for 6 years, and as you can probably tell, I have an accent, so I'm not a native English speaker. My native language is actually Spanish and Catalan, and I grew up in a little Spanish town in the Catalan region. I've traveled over the past years, and I've lived in London, Dublin, and Melbourne, and my gorgeous boyfriend is Irish. So yeah, I'm coming to you live tonight from my little town, Solsono, which means the city of the sun. I've loved exercise ever since I can even remember, and I feel lucky that I get to live my passion every day. I followed my calling, undertaking a sports science university degree, and this led me to an amazing opportunity, spending 1 year in London doing a strength and conditioning and rehabilitation internship with, I don't know if you know them, but Chelsea Ladies Football Club. And another reason why I love exercise so much is because I'm a food lover, so I can eat more. A lot of women that I've worked with get the best results when they start to incorporate specific type of training into their routine. And that is my number one tip tonight. If there is one thing that can turn up the dial on your results, is to incorporate strength training into your weekly routine. So what is strength training? Strength training, also known as weight or resistance training, is physical activity designed to improve muscular fitness by exercising a specific muscle group or a muscle group against external resistance, including free weights, weight machines, or even your own body weight. And while I go on and on about the million of benefits of strength training, I'm going to give you the top 3 reasons why you need to do this. The first one is, for me, one of the most important ones. It's metabolic benefits. So if you do strength training, you will burn more calories through your day, no matter whatever you're moving, eating, or even watching TV. So it's excellent, it's amazing. Also, the second one that for me is very important is it boosts mood and energy levels immediately after and over the following day by raising also endorphin levels. And the third one is to improve bone density and supports better hormone profiles. So I see a lot of women who are scared of doing a strength training for a number of reasons. Sometimes it might be because they are worried about getting bulky, which is actually almost impossible to do, but that's another story. It might be because they are afraid of looking silly in the gym, or they are unsure of what and how to do it, or it could also be because they are a little bit intimidated by a personal trainer. Women normally that happens with male trainers. For those of you listening in live or in replay, is this you? Have you ever felt this about strength training or known who has felt this way? And now let's talk about how to do this. You can do strength training a number of different ways. You can do it in the gym, you can do a home-based program, and you can do certain group-based programs. If you feel like you want more a social environment, more a group fitness class, depending on where you are at, what you need, what are your goals, and what you actually enjoy doing. You need to find what you actually enjoy doing. Now, you might be wondering how many times should I be doing a strength training and what should I be doing? But as an exercise specialist, this is like asking me how long is a piece of string. It really depends on several things. And I always make a point of personalizing every training program to every person because you are unique and you can't copy what the other ones do. And if you feel that this is something that you need help with this right now, then stay tuned because we're going to make an announcement at the end of this call.
Thanks heaps, Noria. I can actually totally relate to what you were just saying, and I've seen the results of strength training with my own eyes. I was really resistant to it at first, like I said before. However, once I started, it became something that I really don't compromise on now, and I know how much of a difference it actually makes to my body and to my, like the endorphins, like you said. It was actually Dani that I'm about to introduce you to that I had that very conversation with, and she convinced me to give it a go. So speaking of Dani, I'd love to introduce her to you all. For those of you who don't know Dani, she's an experienced dietitian who I've been working closely with this year to help me on my own health and fitness journey. She comes with a wealth of knowledge and equipped me with some really practical tips on eating for a healthier lifestyle without depriving myself or feeling like I was ever going without anything that I really enjoyed to eat. So Dani is absolutely beautiful, and over to you, Dani.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Look, you've been such a pleasure to work with. It's been really cool getting to know you much better over the last couple of months. I'm really excited to be here with you both tonight because this is something that I'm really passionate about as well. And obviously, that's what's kind of brought us together. A little bit about me and my background. For those of you who might not know me, I've been a dietitian now for the last 15 years. I spent a lot of time working in elite sport. So I sort of worked my way up, worked with the St Kilda Football Club, worked at the Victorian Institute of Sport, and loved working at that level because there was a real reason, I guess, why athletes had to, there was performance on the line and there was kind of contracts and all these kinds of things. So the motivation was there. And I also worked in 3 different inner city Melbourne private practices. And what I loved there is I saw a lot of women in my clinics, and the number one thing that women often sought my help for was being able to shift through a sticky plateau, or being able to help improve their energy levels, just feel better in their own skin, especially after having kids. I used to find that was and I can also relate as well because I have a nearly 4-year-old daughter. My body has definitely changed, and it's not just your body, but it's just your whole way of being and living, right? And how you think. There's definitely some rewiring that happens over that 9 months when you're growing a new human. So this is definitely where I found like where I'm most passionate, and now what I do is I work online predominantly Obviously, Karina, you came through the program, so running online programs, particularly to support women's needs and be able to shift the dial as we've talked about. So for me, the other thing as well, I think not just to kind of prioritize women here, but when women take control, especially as mothers or as that carer figure, maybe you might not have kids, but maybe you operate in that carer realm, as a lot of women do. I feel there's a real sense of pride and also achievement for myself, because that woman, maybe this is you, if you're watching this, you have decided to put yourself back on the priority list. And just doing that, if you can, it's a bit like putting your own oxygen mask on first before you go and help other people, especially within your family. It's a really difficult thing to do, especially if you're I was brought up in this very self-sacrificing kind of woman role, where my mum did it, for 4 kids. If I can help women to regain that control, to put their own oxygen mask on first and really look after themselves, their whole families and their whole circle of influence also improves, because that woman has taken control back of her own health and her own self-worth. So when it comes for me, and we could just, like Nori, I know you could have gone on and on about just strength training. Karina, I know it was really hard for you to pick just one thing tonight, because we've got many tools in our toolbox, and same for me. But when it comes to shifting the dial on your health and nutrition, I think my number one tip here is a bit of a simple one, and that is fill at least half your plate with veggies. That could be salad veggies, it could be steamed veg, it could be cooked veg, stir-fried veg. And really, I feel like that's kind of just the start of it. But really, if we're talking about being able to shift things for the better, this is really the best place to start for a number of reasons. It helps from an energy density point of view, so it can really help to shift your metabolism. Veggies, because of their fiber intake, get you fuller quicker, and they keep you fuller for longer. So from a weight loss point of view, that is one of the best things you can do. Obviously, your mum was right, eat your veggies. That's going to improve your nutrient status as well by doing that. But it's also going to allow you to start being able to dig into some of those fat stores in between meals, which is obviously where body composition shifts come from. So I guess that's probably the first thing. And, I guess my question to you guys, if you're tuning in live or on replay, has this been something on your radar? Do you feel like you need to eat more veg? Do you need to prioritize that a little better? Or do you need to pay a little bit more attention to what you eat in general? So give me a yes if nutrition is something that you really want to focus a little bit more on. And while those answers are coming through, a lot of the women that I work with often feel very confused around, what to eat. They've often tried many different diets or many different eating styles, and then they end up feeling guilty about anything and everything that they eat, because they, one diet will say yes to, meat, and one diet will say no to meat, and one diet will say yes to fat, and one diet will say no to fat. So where does it, what's right? And so I often find that there's a lot of women that hold a lot of guilt and a lot of stress around food. And then stress in itself, especially, and even if it's around what you actually eat, that in itself can affect your digestion and your metabolism, which just gets you on this kind of this roundabout. Obviously, that's going to have a negative impact on your health goals. And it's also really liberating for women who've been again, like on any kind of sort of diet for most of their lives, to finally know exactly what to eat and when to eat it. So I think that's one of the reasons why I love working with women so much. And I guess, if we're talking boldly here, that's actually kind of how we came together and designed this new 6-week program. And it was really to help select a few women to take those positive steps towards improving how they eat, how they move, and also how they feel within themselves and about themselves, how we think about ourselves. And, you know, there's gaps that Karina, that you needed to fill for me, because there was parts that I wasn't being able to fulfill. Noria, you know, you've really come in and been able to help us with the exercise component, because we know that that is another big key. And then, of course, what you eat and when you eat it, again, another big piece of the puzzle. Karina, you and I were getting goosebumps the other day, like talking about it, because we were feeling so excited about the impact that we're going to be able to make. So I guess if you're feeling stuck or feeling that you need to kind of draw a bit of a line in the sand and make some positive change in your life, maybe this is the first step for you to going, okay, I'm done, I need some help. Then this program could be exactly what you're looking for right now. Just a little bit about the program, I guess. Karina, is it okay if I talk a little bit about that?
Yes, please.
Awesome. So basically, the program is, we're running it. It starts from October the 12th. So that's next Monday. We're running it for 6 weeks. And so over those 6 weeks, you'll have the opportunity to have a little bit of one-on-one mentoring with myself, with Karina, and with Noria. You'll have weekly content delivered in a private Facebook group. You'll have some menu guides to choose from and really understand how to tailor that menu to you and your family, what you need, what you like, what you don't like. We've got the beautiful Noria, who'll be delivering an instructional exercise program, again, that's tailored to you. Again, she is a specialist, particularly in managing injuries, so I'm really excited about that. So the more challenges, the better. Noria likes a good challenge, and there's so much more. And obviously, we've got the wisdom of Karina, who's coming through with self-love and really being able to tune in to you and make yourself a priority, especially when it comes to women. So I'm really excited about that. For some of you, there might be a couple of questions. Like, I know I had some questions when we first started talking about this. So one of the questions that you might be asking yourself is, why would this work when other things haven't worked in the past? And that's a really valid question. I definitely think that, this is the first time I've never seen a program that's been able to address the inner thinking, inner thoughts with exercise, with effective nutrition ever before. We've never seen this before. And potentially the reason why things haven't worked for you in the past is because they've been very cookie cutter. And they might not have been particularly tailored to you, or they've missed out one of these essential pieces of the puzzle where we've now brought them together. So that's a big reason. Another question that you might have in your mind is maybe that you're not sure how to exercise, or maybe you've got some injuries that might be holding you back. As Karina, I think you said it, and Nora, you mentioned it as well, you are the gun in being able to navigate even the most annoying and niggly and chronic injuries, especially like neck and back, if that's something that's been challenging you. So that's definitely not going to be an issue when working with Noria. That's also the benefit of working with an exercise physiologist, right? They know what they're doing, and they know anatomy, they know physiology, and then you've got an expert being able to weave their way around your body, right? So amazing. You might be thinking, but I'm not sure what to eat and when. Well, we're going to be able to go through that, and we're covering that before the program even starts. So we'll have a conversation and be able to address where you're at, what you've tried, and where you need to go from here. And then maybe the other question that's in your mind is, what about the price? Is this going to be, a bit of a hit on my hip pocket, especially, in the times that we're living through? And all I can say is that we've made a huge effort to make this really affordable for you. And, whether it's, it's an upfront payment, or there's a payment plan as well, just to make things easier for you. Karina, did you want to share the price? I should have asked you, or should we? Nothing like that. We talk about the price live, or maybe we'll talk about it because this is a new program. Yeah. We will mention the price because this might be something that might hold people back. Yeah. So we've kept this for 6 weeks, so you get all of the above for only $597, and this is an introduction price. This is for the first time we run this. The price will be going up after this. We do have a payment plan of $250 $104 over 3 fortnightly payments, if that makes it a little easier, because we don't want price to get in the way of you getting exactly what you need in your life right now. Sorry, I probably should have asked you that before we got on the call. I think I laughed. But basically, in a nutshell, I guess, who the program is for, it's for someone who is really ready to take that next step, who knows that they need to make some positive change in their lives, and who is ready to step up. Maybe you are exercising at the moment, but you feel like there's gaps in how you're thinking and how you are feeling and how you're eating, or maybe you'd like to step up your training, and you know that's a gap. Or for a lot of the women that we've already spoken to and who've committed to doing the program, for a lot of women, it's really about taking that first step and being able to actually feel confident in how they move their body and have some guidance there. You know, there's the women the incredible women that I've spoken to, a lot of them are feeling very confused, but feeling very excited about the certainty that they're going to get from this program. I'm going to stop talking because I can talk for another year if you let me. But what we'll do is we'll post a link to the program if you'd like to learn a little bit more, and we'll pop it in the comment section. And there's also we'll also pop a booking link if you'd like to have a chat to one of us, particularly like if it's nutrition, you can have a chat with me. If it's about sort of the thought patterns and maybe that you need to work on that self-love aspect, that priority section, then you know the best person to speak to would be Karina. And of course, the exercise questions, if you've got any exercise questions, Noria will make herself available as well. But that is free time with each of us. So if the time is right, yeah, I'd love for you to join us. So I guess over to you, Karina.
Thanks heaps, Dani. I loved that segment you just did, because a lot of women, you know, we do struggle with knowing what to eat and how much vegetables, how much meat. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was really, really good. I'm so excited to be doing this with you, Dani, and with Noria. And I know the women that have already committed to the program will be in for a really big treat. There's still a few spaces remaining, ladies, and it could be just the thing that you've been looking for. And as Dani said, there is no other programs like this with the self-love, with the nutrition and with the movement that, you know, is a program like this. And, you know, keeping it at a really affordable price for you so that you can come in and really make a difference to your life emotionally, nutritionally and physically. So thanks for joining us live, everybody. And thank you for those who watch the replay. Please don't forget to #replay. And we really look forward to working with some of you over the coming weeks. So thanks for joining us, and we will say good night.
Thanks,
Night, girls.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us live. Bye for now.
Bye.